Hi and a very warm welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a garden tour in the month of November, and I'm going to be showing you that even though we have all these dreary days, it doesn't matter because there's still beauty to be found in the garden. I've decided today to start the garden tour in this area of the garden because this is one of my favourite plants at this time of year. It's Rudbeckia fulgida deamii, and this plant, beautiful perennial, the most amazing daisy-like flowers during late summer, going into early autumn. But look at this now. This, to me, is just as beautiful as the flowers. Not the foliage, but these gorgeous seed heads. Now these will remain like this throughout the autumn and into the winter. And you can also find sometimes some of the smaller birds trying to eat the seeds from these. So really, really beautiful plant. But I just love the dark seed heads. And the thing is, you know, it's that time of year where you look out into the garden and you might feel a bit almost, depressed, thinking, a little anxious. This is bad. This, the garden's looking terrible. I don't want to go out there. But what you don't realise is that there is so much to still enjoy out there. Get yourself out into the garden. Notice these things. Notice the changes, and accept that we live here in the UK, and without the autumn, and the winter, there's not going to be the spring and the summer. So we have to learn to embrace every single season. And to me, when I was younger, it always used to be the summertime that I loved. Now it's definitely the autumn. This is my favourite time of year because there's so much to see. Again, if you've not grown this one, give it a try. It's not as prone to slugs as some of the other Rudbeckias are. So this one is a really great one. I do love it. I just love those seed heads. To me, that's the start of the garden at the minute. Now, moving on. Magnolia, looking great. We've got buds forming there, ready to burst open early on in the year. So this is a lovely, this is Magnolia stellata, and it's a really, really nice magnolia, a very beautiful one. I like the shape of this one. It's quite graceful and it doesn't overgrow its space. It's a really nice magnolia. And when it does start to come over the garden, we do just clip it back a little bit. But it's a really nice one, and it's just lovely to see those buds forming now, and seeing, knowing that the promise is there, that there's going to be flowers, there's going to be lots of things going on. Stipa tenuissima, one of my favourite grasses, still looking great. So we're in November, but yet look, it's standing alone as a great plant, and it's a great perennial. Very low growing grass, great in a breeze. When you get a really nice breeze, it looks amazing blowing in the wind. Absolutely amazing. Really like this one. It's a prolific self-seeder, so if you get this in the garden, you're going to find lots of offspring coming up around it and all over the place. But it's a great one. You can always pop them on and give them to family, friends, neighbours. Over here, we've got a beautiful Fuchsia magellanica still flowering. That's a really great shrub to have. Something that you used to see in a lot of gardens decades ago. It's not something that you see anymore, but Fuchsia magellanica is a really nice fuchsia, and it's a bit of a shrub that's late to start, but once it gets going, absolutely amazing. And those flowers, we're in November and we've got such beautiful flowers. So there is still so much to see. There's a lot of decay, but there's also flowers and different things going on in the garden. I want to show you this. Over here, we have a beautiful Eryngium, and this one is Eryngium Colbolt star, and I've never ever had one, I should say we've never had one, still flowering now in November like this. So it obviously loves the position. It's right here in the centre of the garden. It's in full sun. It's in a raised bed as well, because this oval bed, this round bed, is actually raised, as you can see, and I think it's liked the season as well. It's been pretty mild here where we are, and I just think it's loved it. But that's amazing to see that flowering now. and these are coming out as well. So we're going to have these flowers for quite a few more weeks to come. So that's absolutely amazing. First time that's happened. Eryngiums are really great plants to grow, but they do like the free draining soil. Okay, so you're not going to put them somewhere that's waterlogged, because they're not going to be very successful. The apple tree's looking good, starting to lose its leaves, but looking really great. And the thing is, in our garden, something that we pride ourselves on, we don't, with the perennials, chop everything back. Back in the day, decades ago, I remember growing up as a child, people would cut everything back in autumn, ready for the spring the following year. That's not what we do. What we do is we allow the insects and everything else in the garden, creatures, just to enjoy, you know, find little safe places to go. So during the autumn, the winter, and then in the spring, when the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, we will cut everything back to the ground and everything begins to emerge. So that's what we do. We just leave things to do their own thing, and it's nice. It's a great thing to do, because you're providing home for insects, lots of different homes for insects, and also the garden. There's not really that much you can do during the winter, so just leave it. There's no point in chopping everything back. Just leave it as it is. And like I say, you're providing that habitat for creatures in the garden. Moving over this way. Pond is still looking great, absolutely amazing. Our resident frog, Bridgewater, as we named him, we've not seen him for a while, but I saw him about a month ago. He made an appearance, then disappeared again. But pond's looking absolutely great, and still maintaining, he's still looking really clean as well, to be honest with you. Lots of creatures have made it their home, so there's been lots of pond life in there. But it's just a great thing to have. You bring water into the garden, you're attracting a whole host of other insects into the garden. Now, over here, I want to talk about sweet peas. Now, sweet peas are some of my favourite things because the scent from the flowers. And these sweet peas, we had some issues with, once they get over fence height, if you have a lot of wind and things, we had quite a windy few days, they ended up falling over. So Paul just hacked them at the top there, chopped them back, and as you can see, they've actually grown. They've grown about that much since they were chopped back. So even though it's autumn, they've still been growing and they've still been flowering, providing us with these beautiful flowers. We've got lots of seeds going on here. So if you look, there's just seeds throughout the plant. And what we'll do with those is collect them, put them into a paper bag, store them somewhere nice and dry, so in the shed, and then we will use them to grow our sweet peas next year. Use the seeds that we've collected. Saves buying seeds every year. And also we'll bring some of these flowers. We're enjoying them in the garden at the minute because we've been bobbing in and out. But we will cut these and bring them into the house, and they will give us some scent. You can't smell the scent outside simply because it's cool, it's cold. Okay, it's mild for the time of year, but it's cold, so you're not going to smell them outside. Once you bring them into the house, you'll be able to smell that scent. Grass here, looking really, really great. This one is Calamagrostis brachytricha. Really, really nice. The grasses come into their own during the autumn, and this is no exception. This Calamagrostis is absolutely gorgeous. I just love the featheriness of it. Just like big, huge feathers. Really, really nice one. As you can see along, if we look, let's not avoid the decay. It's okay to focus on the decay and say, look, things are dying back. Look at the foliage, but look at how beautiful they look. All the seeds have flown now, okay? So the seeds have gone, and yet we've still got some beautiful stems, some really lovely structure. And it's about knowing what to keep and what not to keep. Some things, like the geranium here, will just turn to mush, and that will do its own thing. We'll leave it, but it will turn to mush, okay? But you've got other things with the stems that will just hold that structure and create and maintain interest throughout the space. Now I do want to go over to this side, okay? I want to come over this bit. My favourite at the minute, well, another favourite is Molinia Banshee. And for Molinia, I'm not just loving the flowers, I am loving beautiful, vibrant colour of the stems. So Molinia Banshee looking great in November. This is something for the garden. If you like grasses, get Molinia Banshee because it's a really nice one. It gets better as time goes on, it really does. We've got things still flowering here. We've got so much still flowering. We've got Erigeron still flowering. It's flowered from all through the summer and it's still going strong now. It was still going in late spring. It was actually started flowering in late spring and it's just not stopped the whole time. We've got the beautiful berries on the Sorbus, the Autumn Spire. Those berries, they're just so autumnal. You know, we've had Halloween, we've had bonfire night, and now just to be outside in the garden on a mild day like this and to see those berries, knowing that the birds, I think the birds have taken some already by the look of it, but I know that they're going to take lots more of those berries over the course of the next couple of months. They really will take them. There's just so much to see. There really is. The geum is still flowering. This is Geum Princess Juliana, and we've got a flower on there. We've had a couple of flowers. We've had a few actually, had quite a few. We've got Cosmos throughout the garden here, still flowering. So these are annuals that were placed in to simply fill in spaces because we had lots of space, if you remember correctly, early on in the year. So we just used annuals to fill those gaps. We'll probably not use them again next year because we'll not need to. But everything is still growing strong. Some things look better than others. For instance, you know, we had all the beautiful flowers on Aster Little Carlow, and I like the way that this has grown this year because it had the Chelsea chop early on, around the time of Chelsea, hence the reason it's called the Chelsea chop. But look at how it looks now. The flowers have just gone over and I think it still looks great. It's a really, really lovely plant to have in the garden. The flowers, there's just so many. They were just covered. But even though it's gone, it's stopped flowering, it's finished, it's come to an end, it still looks great. Geranium, Brookside, still trying to flower. Got quite a few on there throughout. Lots going on. Persicaria, affinis, Superba. Really, really nice one. It's looked great throughout the year. I keep saying this, I love the flowers. I love when the flowers are finished. So we've got the flower there, flower when it's finished. So going to seed, all those seeds. And then the autumnal colours, the reds, the yellows, green, throughout the actual plant itself. It's a really good spreader, as you can see, it's spreading all over the place. It started off this clump and it's just moving everywhere. So this is great if you're after a low growing Persicaria for your garden. The other Persicaria, amplexicaulis Firetail, is still growing strong. You know, some of the foliage was brown during the summer, so it's not as though you can say, well, it's the time of year. It's still flowering. We're still getting bees on there. We're still getting insects on there. Absolutely amazing. It's wonderful. And that's what we want in the garden. There's still things flowering. You know, there's so much going on. There is also our Penstemon, and this is our beautiful Penstemon Garnet, and it's still flowering. This is the thing. There's a lot of decay. You can see it all around. I don't need to explain the decay in the garden because you can see it. I will explain it slightly. Look at the sedum matrona. Look at the foliage, how the foliage goes. It's quite, it's depressing. To me, that's depressing. But look at this, on the contrast. You've got flowers going on Penstemon Garnet. You've got so much growth occurring here. And it's enjoying the mild autumn. It really is. Also, the Persicaria alba running through. Flowers throughout it, still flowering. And when the flowers go over, the stems themselves look amazing. We've got our other beautiful Aster Twilight right there. Look at those seed heads. It's all gone to seed. It's gone over, but look how it looks. The flowers, once they've finished, look just as beautiful. Looks just as beautiful as it did when it was in full flower. It's about learning to embrace things. You know, when I was younger, I must admit, I would have said, oh no, it's gone over now, it doesn't look now. It's a lack of appreciation. I think we just sometimes need to retrain our brains and say, do you know what? There's a lot still to enjoy. There are some things that you can't enjoy as much, such as I just said, the seed and matrona, that's all decaying, it's all going to mush. But we enjoyed it when it was here, and so did the butterflies and bees, okay? But this one, we can still enjoy now at this time of year, and we can still get the joy. It's all in the way that we think about it. Like I say, we've even got on the phlox paniculata spatsoma, sunflowers on there. Got quite a few. And this is it. This is what it's about. Grasses at the back looking great, tall, regal. Everything's doing so well. There's so much to enjoy. There's actually nothing that I can say that I'm disappointed in the garden. It's all a natural process. The Verbascum olympicum, right there as you can see, well, what's not to like about it? It's tall, it's strong, it's sturdy, and look at those beautiful buttery yellow flowers. They're so lovely, so lovely. I cannot believe at this time of year that we're experiencing such mild weather, but also there's so much to enjoy in the garden. You're probably thinking, when's the garden tour coming? When's the garden tour coming? And it's arrived, and there's so much to enjoy, and there will be during winter as well. I'm liking the colours on our Helianthus, and this is Helianthus Lemon Queen. I like the seed heads, the way that they've gone, and if you notice, they're starting, what they do is they go over and they droop. I really do like it. Love the seed heads, but look at the beautiful autumnal colours running through the bush. Some flowers on the Aster Calliope. As you know, asters are now known by a different name, but I still say aster because it's easier. Our beautiful Astrantia Roma, looking stunning still. So much to enjoy, there really is. There's not a shortage of things to enjoy. The Hackamacloa macra, still looking great as well. Quite a lovely low growing grass. It is really nice. It's a good one. It's a good one to have. We've used this for a few years now and looking great. Oh, can I just point out something? The cuttings that Paul did of the roses, he did some cuttings of roses, Rose's Sweet Honey, after our cat honey, looking great, flowering. So we've got a flower on there. That's very scented. If I brought that into the house, it would be quite scented. Doesn't make a great cut flower, to be honest with you, so I'm not going to do that. But if you'd like to follow me down this little pathway, it's a pathway where you very rarely get to go. And we've got all bits and pieces in along here. There's digitalis there. But we've got some self-sown, and it really is self-sown, borage here. Self-sown borage. And look how great that's become. It's found this little spot to enjoy, and it's just looking good. I love that colour. I like blues in the garden. Blue is a rare quality in a garden. It's such a rare colour to have, and so we really should embrace it when we find it. Just a really nice section of the garden. And if you look over this way, we have our Viburnum bodnantense Dawn, looking really great there, in flower, and this one is really quite scented. We're not experiencing the scent because of where it is over this side of the garden, but we're not experiencing it. And I wish it was closer to us so that we can smell that on the way past, because it's lots of scent going on in this corner. It's really nice to be stood here. I can tell you that this plant here doesn't look great at the minute, just a few stems and a few leaves. Is actually a cutting from my mum's. It was a shrub that I bought when I was about 9-10 years old from Woolworths for about 98 pence, and in my mum's garden it's doing great. It's called mock orange, or Philadelphus virginal. So Philadelphus virginal, and this has beautiful white flowers with the scent of orange blossom. This is a cutting from the original, so it's nice to have brought that into this garden and to eventually have a nice shrub here that we can enjoy the scent from throughout the garden, because believe me, once you've got a mock orange in your garden, you'll smell it throughout the garden on summer days. You really will, especially as you go into the evenings as well. But the garden is looking great. Everything's looking good, from you know, the perennials, the grasses, the trees are looking great. We've still got foliage on the trees, so everything's looking great. The memorial tree over there, so our Prunus nigra, that is looking wonderful. Still lots of foliage, and I can't wait for the blossom. The blossom on Prunus nigra is quite early. I think it's like January, February. It's quite an early time. Yeah, it's more February. And you get that time where there's just these beautiful, delicate white flowers, but it's nice to see. And the insects will be appreciating it as well, and the early bees. But it is nice to see. But it's really mainly for the foliage. You want that tree for the foliage. And just things are looking great in the garden. If you're into doing wreaths for Christmas, here's one for you. So our Skimmia japonica, and Skimmia is has really nice, gorgeous flowers, the most highly scented flowers you can have. But then as the season goes on, you get these beautiful red berries. These are perfect in floral displays. So if you're doing a display, get some Skimmia in the garden, or use the Skimmia you've already got. Use the stems with the berries on. Great for displays for Christmas. But remember to do one thing: leave some on for the birds. Remember, the birds need them as well, so don't be greedy and take them all off for your displays. Leave some on for the birds as well, but you can use some because they're not going to eat all that. The last thing I want to show you are the colours on the hydrangea. This is a traditional hydrangea, as you can see. Been in the garden for a long time, but notice how beautiful the colours have gone. They've changed throughout the season. We have these beautiful pink flowers coming through now. They look amazing. One of my favourite parts of it, when it goes like this. So you've got the pale pink, but then that really deep pink going on. It looks great this time of year. It's something to enjoy. Hydrangeas do not like full sun, so if you put them in a really dry area of the garden in full sun, they are not going to thrive, to be honest with you. It's really not a good thing. They need a little bit of moisture, okay, as in they don't like to be in baking sun. They'll tend to look brown and not happy, but because this is here, close to the house, sheltered from the sun for most of the day, that's why it thrives and does its thing. And I'm sure if we let it, it will be much taller as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, this November tour. It's been a while since we've done any content, so we'll keep trying to produce content for you. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you've not already done so. It's totally free to subscribe. And if you've got any comments and you've enjoyed the video, just drop them in the comments box below. Also, if you have any social media accounts, Facebook, WhatsApp, share it on your socials and just passes on our message and our enthusiasm and passion for gardens and for plants. Thank you so much for watching. I very much look forward to seeing you on the next one. I will see you soon.